Well, hi everybody. It's Francine here. I've been getting a lot of messages. Where have you been, Francine? And I've had a lot on lately and lots of things going on. But because it's Mother's Day here in New Zealand on Sunday, I thought I would share a design with you that you can all have a go at with whatever you can find. So I'll make a start on that, and I hope you're all well out there. So this is something you can give a go at. It's something that I've made. I've been mucking around with, and it's a really cool little concept. It's basically whatever you can find at home, so really it's not an expensive design to do. So what I've done here is I've cut some strips of cardboard. Got a couple of strips here. You've got one long piece, that's really good. It's probably about, well, I've done a small version, but I'll also show you a larger version that I've made so that you can see that. But I've done a small version for you to have a look at. So I've done this probably about 1 metre long, or just over 1 metre long, and but you can go as long as you like, make any shape you like, but today we're going to make a heart. So it's nice to see you all. So I've got 2 pieces of cardboard here. It's cut an old box up that I found actually. And then I've got here some panel wire. But you can use, if you haven't got panel wire, you can use maybe 16 gauge wire, or if you haven't got 16 gauge wire, put a couple of pieces of 22 gauge wire together, or 20 gauge wire. You really want it reasonably thick, but not where you can't control it. So what I've got here is I've got my pieces of panel. I'm putting 2 pieces together. This is a 1.65 thickness, but look, you just put a couple of pieces of, I don't know, 18 gauge together, 20 gauge together, till you get it nice and thick. Once you've had a play with it, you'll know what I mean. Now I'm going to use some Stemtex tape over it as well. I'm going to bind these together, put them together. I want to make them sticky. So it's nice to see you all today, so I thought, why not show you this design? Something I did yesterday for Area Day, and it's something, a new concept I've been mucking around with, and do it for Mother's Day. But like I say, you can make any shape you like. You can make stars for Christmas, you can make all sorts. So I'm just going to Stemtex these 2 pieces together so that they're all sticky. And I'll just, when you're doing the Stemtex, I twist the wire, I don't twist the tape, and I put it on a slight angle so it feeds down the wire nice and easy, nice and quick. I'll just put these together here like this. It's a magic morning here this morning. I had a great day at Area Day yesterday. So I've got my 2 pieces of wire together like that. Now, if you've got short wire, what you do is you overlap the wire so you can make one long piece. So now I've got my pieces of cardboard. What are we going to do with that, Franz? I'm going to get some sellotape. Everyone's got sellotape or any sorts of tape to tape it together. I'm using my teeth. One day they're going to be false and I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. So at the moment, they're all mine. So, put that together. So I've got one long piece of the cardboard. Then you get your wire, and the length of the wire depends on the length of cardboard that you're going to use. So you need to make the wire the complete length of that, and you put it in the centre. And then start and just put it right in the middle of the cardboard. It's really technical now, and you're going to tape it onto a piece of cardboard. All the way down. Get it and just cut it off. Put that to the side for now. I might need that later, so I might need that tab on that actually. Put that on there. So you've got your wire in the middle of your piece of cardboard. Now this is the fun bit. What am I going to cover it with? Now I was just thinking about soft tones, but basically you're looking for a textural contrast to the plant material that you're going to use. I like the velvety look on the outside. Now plant material must dominate, so the plant material will in this design. So I've just got some wool that I had at home here. But you can use the cotton threads, and everyone's using the macrame cotton at the moment, so you could do macrame twine over the whatever they call it, over the top of it. Other things you could use is you could cover it in lamb's ear or a velvety type leaf. It can change the look by changing the leaf, by going to a smooth leaf on the outside, but I really want that velvety, that soft look for the contrast of texture. So I've got a little bit of a tab of the sellotape over the edge. I'm just going to put that there just to hold this. And then all you do is you make yourself a cup of tea, put on a good movie, and then just go round and round and round with whatever you're covering it with. This is a really good one to do when you've just got nothing else to do. You can make a whole lot of these and just quietly sit there and just go round and round. And you're going to go all the way down. Now you don't want to watch me do that for half an hour. So all you can see what I've done there, I'm just going right, and you want to cover the whole thing up. If you overlap it, that's fine. But have a look at what flowers you're wanting to use when you actually start doing this, and then you can just pop this in together. Just go all the way around, think about your colour harmonies and your textural contrasts. Go all the way down, all the way through, so you completely do the panel. So luckily, I prepared one earlier. So I have one here that's completely covered. So I've gone all the way down here, completely covered it with using the wool. And I've got a little bit of a cotton thread on that one as well, actually, but I'll need to cut that. I need that wool for something else, so I'll just cut that. That there. So now that I've got that, now I want to work out the shape that I'm going to do. Well, because it's Mother's Day, it's from the heart. So that's why I thought I would do one from the heart. So I've got one here, and I'm just going to bend it. Because of the wire, we can manipulate this into any shape we want. You may want to do a circle, but we're doing a heart. So I'm just going to get my heart shape going. And I want to have it, so just manipulating the wire with your hand by pushing on the wire underneath. You're making your heart shape. Might need to come a bit further over. Just get your scale right. Bring it over, up a little bit. Bending the wire, taking it round. So I've got my heart shape. Now I want to have it offset. There's a very good reason why we do this, and you'll see that later on what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to make my heart shape. Make sure you're happy with the shape of it. Might make it a little bit stronger in the point in the centre there. Lift it up just a teeny weeny bit. Open it out just a weeny bit. Then line this piece up here. So you've got this overlap here, over here. Line that and lay it down flat and pinch them together. So it's pinched like this. If it's slightly offset, don't worry, you'll see why in a minute. Then get the wool that you were using, or the twine or whatever you were using. You want it to disappear into what you've made. So go around there. You're going to tie it off, and then you're going to come over and over and over and over, and you're going to make like a little cage, making cage. So you just go over, and because you've got the wool on there, or the texture on there, it gets a grip, so it's not going to slip. So go all the way around, and you come down, and it'll disappear into the frame. Right around there. Make sure it's nice and firm. Make sure you're happy. You can use shiny wires, you can all sorts, but I just wanted to use the softness. I wanted something really soft rather than it being quite severe. Sometimes it can be quite sculptured and quite severe. I wanted this soft and delicate. So I'm just going to tie that off. Put that in through there like that. So now we've got a really nice little heart shape. Now what are we going to do with it? Well, this is really good. This is what you need to at the moment for those in New Zealand that are picking their antique hydrangeas. You can go and pick your hydrangeas and have a look at what you've got around. But any other plant material that's nice and loose that dries well, you can do this with. Now I've got here some preserved hydrangea. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go in through my grid, in through my structure that I've made here, and I'm just going to thread this in. Just going to do one side at the moment. Poke it in there. You can use this. I've got dried hydrangea heads, so you could use dried hydrangea heads in here to bring that colour through. Just cut them nice and short, and you just want the head. Bring that in through there. Just put a little bit more in through there, maybe. So you've got your got your preserved hydrangea, but I'm left this bit here empty at the moment. Pull that up just a wee bit more. A bit of a play with it. Put that there just to the side. Now we want to think about the mechanics inside. So I've got a couple of options. If you want to go completely foam free, I'll show you that option. That's basically just filling the whole thing up with the hydrangea. Filling the whole thing up with hydrangea. Then I've got here some test tubes. Get a couple of these out. And I've got some wire here, some binding wire, and I'm going to do two placements of the binding wire. I'm going to make some what they call monkey arms. This is one of Gregor Lersch's ones, so that's just twisting the wire around. So you've got one lot of wire here, it's been wrapped around twice, and then I've taken it out and I've twisted the wire here. So if you can see, they're all black today, so you can see what I'm doing. Then you want to do one on the opposite side. Go around twice, And I always twist the tube, not the wire, because I get it tight onto the tube. I've got better control that way. So I've got like a couple of little arms that are sitting out. Can you see that? One going this way and one going that way. Then I can pop this inside here. I can wrap that around the twine. And I'll put a couple of placements of my tubes right in here, and I'll probably do 2 or 3 of them, fill them up with water, and that's where the flowers would go. But I'm not going to do that just yet. So that's one option. I'll take that out. But Francine, I want to use foam. Okay, well, if you want to use foam, that's fine. Okay, so I'll just take a bit of this hydrate and move it up a little bit. So I've got a little block of Oasis here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to put that on the spikes. I'm going to put this to the side for now, and I'll show you the next step. So I want to elevate this up. Well, I've got here some spikes. Now, if you haven't got a spike, you've got to have a spike. They're great to just put your designs on. If you haven't got one, you can do one in a piece of wood. You can put it seated in cement, make like a little cube shape, whatever. But I don't want that to dominate. I want to make it so it all blends. So I'll put that on the wet plate. So I thought, but because of the colour harmony, I want to bring the colour right through that design. So all I'm going to do is I've marked the centre here. I've got a paper plate, put it on there on the base. And then I've got some of my big roller wool. And all I'm going to do here is I'm thinking about the colour. I've picked a colour out from here, and that's the colour I'm bringing through, and I'm bringing it through the flowers. You need to think about your colour balance and colour unity. So because the colour of the flowers that I'm going to use, the rose, I'm bringing that right through the whole design. So this isn't going to dominate with having the white base. The white's going to be in here with the flowers, and it's already in there with the colour of the multicoloured wool that I'm using. And then basically just wrap this around so you completely cover the whole spike. Again, I don't want you to see me spend another half an hour doing that. But you can cover this with anything if you decide you want to change the colour. These paper plates are really good. They're not coated in anything, so you can paint them, you can cover them in leaves, you can cover them in bark, you can do whatever you like, and then make a great way of actually bringing the colour harmony of the design right through the whole design. So I'm just going to put that to the side because I did do one earlier. We've got one pre-done. It also brings the textural contrast coming through. I bring that nice velvety look coming from the stand rather than a straight dark colour. I wanted that colour to come through. So now I'm going back to the foam part here. So I've got my foam and I've pre-soaked a little cube, and I've also got a piece of what we call it Glad wrap here, or clean film, and I'm going to put that on there, wrap it around. I want to tuck it so it doesn't leak down the bottom. I'm just going to cut it at the top here, and then I'm going to mount it. Now I don't want to spike this one on, so I've got some pot tape. You can make like little knitting cages, but I'm just going to use my teeth again. Use a bit of pot tape. People ask me about the mechanics. Well, I'm very much about mechanics. It's all being nice and strong. So I'm just going to pot tape this on. This doesn't have a lot of weight in it, and once it's in the design, it'll hold it together. So wrapping this around so it's nice and firm onto the spike. Tuck that down just a weeny teeny bit so it's onto the spike like that. Then I'm going to bring this, so I'm thinking about scale and proportion for the size. I'll take this out so you can see me put it on. I'm thinking about the size of the foam to the size of the design. Beauty about this, it's also like a mechanic, so you can just slide this over, pop it into there like this, and then you are ready to go with your mechanic, with your design. Now I need to tie. Now the reason why I wanted this length is because I want to give it rhythm. I don't want it static. See how static that is? So I want to balance the design. So what I do is I bring this here, bending it back down again. See how it's given it rhythm to the design rather than it being static? So now I've got nice rhythm coming through, repetition coming through. Again, I'm just going to hold that for a minute and find out where I put the wool. Probably ducked under the table. Put that to the side. A bit of this here. And again, tying it on. You won't see this once it's tied on, but it holds it all together. Scale and proportion wise, that base is probably a little bit big for this, but you'll see I've done another one that I can show you. Get a better idea. I just decided to do this morning. So now that's well and truly secured onto there with the mechanics. That's looking a bit abrupt there, so a little bit. So I'll just give it a soften a little bit by bringing it down just a little bit softer line rather than being so severe. That's better, just a little softer. bringing it through. And then I'm just to give me, again, unity, I've got a little bit of glue here. I'm just going to put this down on the bottom. Oh, actually, I forgot the glue. Have I got a dash? No, I haven't got a dash. Okay, so we're just going to put a little bit of this down on the bottom. Bring our eye down with the colour. This, again, is giving us, just tuck that in under there. Being preserved or dried, it will hold really well. Brings the pattern down, repetition coming through. A little bit down here at the base here as well, just tuck that down. And then I'm going to put my flowers in. So I've been into the garden, just had a look to see what I had left this morning. I raided it pretty hard yesterday. And I was going to pop a few flowers in, so I'll just turn this around so I can see where I'm putting them. I've been out and had a little look. Now, just pop that in there, and the cellophane just stops it from, or the clear film, just stops it leaking water through, but it helps hold the moisture in as well. Pop that one in there. Makes a lovely little gift. That might be too big. We'll just see if that scale proportion wise might be too big. Use some buds, I think. And I talk to myself an awful lot when I'm doing this. Put that one in there. Tuck that in. Another one up and through here. Just pushing it through the foam. If you have trouble getting it through the cling film, just use a little toothpick and pop it through, or a kebab stick and just spike it through, and that'll help you get it through the film. But I think about the colour balance. White is so dominant, so you need to make sure that you've got your colour going right through the whole design. Put that one in through there. Another one in through there. It needs to come up, just have a bit of a play for a second. Make sure I'm happy with the way it's going in. That one needs to go there. One day if they talk back, I'm in serious trouble, you know. Put that one in through there. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of this at the top, so we've got that looking like it's just resting the colour, taking the colour balance through the design. Bringing it through, and a little bit more I'm going to tuck just in there, just to bring it through a little bit more. One little bud, he might as well use that little bud. He's like, please don't forget about me. That is how you make something a little bit different for Mother's Day. And I've done one that I did yesterday, but I'm just going to change the rose in it. Put another rose in this one here, so you can see what I made. And I thought it'd be a neat little design that you can have a go at. This one's got test tubes in it, but it gives you the idea anyway. One up and through there. And that is to give it a friend. So those are the designs there, something a little bit different today for you to have a go at. And you can make any shape that you like. So it's a really quite a cool concept. You can make circles, hearts, squares, stars, whatever celebration you've got, make the shape, and then you can just fill it up with all the goodies. If you haven't got the preserved hydrangea, you can use the dried hydrangea or dried flowers, just whatever you have. So have fun, everybody. Take care out there, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye for now. Have a wonderful day.